Statesman and the Caprice represent the high point of prestige and refinement for vehicles wearing the Holden badge. Hi, I'm Steve Dunn-Contant, and today I'm going to show you the new WK Statesman and Caprice range. The future of Australian luxury cars has never looked better. These two models are now more distinct from one another than at any time in the past. Holden has continued to evolve the model character that has contributed so much to the success of Statesman, while creating a more individual Eurosport image for the Caprice. The Caprice's black textured grille, black bezel backgrounds and chrome highlights on the projector headlamps, fog and cornering lamps give it a more aggressive sport appearance. The Caprice has an even more assertive stance thanks to a lower trim height. The Statesman's front end is slightly softer, with bright bezels on the lights and a graphite over chrome grille treatment. WK's projector headlamps provide better down-the-road penetration on high beam and a better spread on low beam. The fog and cornering lamps feature larger, clearer lenses and offer an improvement in spread and penetration over the previous models. Both models have been refined. Caprice gaining a more aggressive stance, with Statesman's new look maintaining its more traditional, prestigious appearance. The reshaped bodies have lowered drag coefficient thanks to better airflow over the front fascia, headlamps, wheels, trailing edge of the bonnet and the reshaped external mirrors. In profile you'll notice changes too. These redesigned external mirrors echo VY, and on the Caprice the passenger side mirror will dip when reverse is selected to show the driver any low-level hazards. Caprice mirrors are also heated and will turn off automatically after 15 minutes. The B-pillar has been redesigned to increase the strength of the upper section, improving side impact performance. It's designed to reduce the velocity of the impact, thereby increasing protection to the occupant's head, neck and chest. The new C-pillar is a more flowing design, and it incorporates a new shaped sixth window. Streamlined body side mouldings replace the previous model's cladding. Statesman receives chrome exterior door handles, while Caprice's are body coloured. Both models have distinctive new style wheels. Statesman has 16-inch alloys, while the Caprice features a unique 17-inch 9-spoke alloy wheel. The rear end styling for WK is sharper, cleaner, more powerful, and it's complemented by a new deck-lidded bumper design. Tail lamps are solid red and introduce a new monocolour strip reflector section to the lamp, utilising a specifically developed lens for a refined appearance that also increases the reflective surface area for greater visibility to other road users. Statesman has a chrome licence plate surround and lower accent tones, whereas Caprice features a body-coloured surround. Statesman has a chrome-tipped extension on the long-life stainless steel exhaust. Caprice is equipped with a dual performance exhaust, and also being stainless steel means this exhaust will continue to produce that distinctive V8 growl for a long time. Let's have a look at what's on the other end of this exhaust. Performance-wise, both Caprice and Statesman want for nothing. Engineers have calibrated the engine settings to provide a combination of power and usable torque throughout the rev range. This results in a more flexible engine, particularly when towing. It also means that Statesman, and especially Caprice, respond to the input from the driver's right foot. In line with its Eurosport image, Caprice is equipped with the new high-output Gen 3 all-alloy V8 engine. This engine delivers increased power, which is now 245 kilowatts, an increase over the previous model of 20 kilowatts. The Gen 3 V8 for the Statesman has increased its power by 10 kilowatts over the previous Statesman to 235 kilowatts. variable ratio power steering increases driving pleasure, as does the 11.2 metre curb-to-curb turning circle. Retuned McPherson strut front suspension now features progressive disc stack tuning technology. This system provides a more progressive increase in dampening force, and combined with increasing shock absorber velocity means improved handling and ride. The retuned front suspension works in harmony with the Control Link independent rear suspension to smooth out even the roughest of Australian roads. Caprice is fitted with recalibrated and lowered springs for a more aggressive lower road stance, in line with its position in the marketplace. And if your customer needs to tow, electronically controlled level ride suspension with super lift rear shock absorbers is offered as an option on Statesman. Remember, Statesman and Caprice are designed in Australia by Australians for Australian conditions. The personal identity key not only locks and unlocks the car, but it also activates and deactivates the deadlock security, and it arms and disarms the security alarm. It also holds in memory the last settings on a number of cabin comfort features and driver controls. Can you remember which ones? If you said radio antenna height, sound system settings, instrument dimmer level, air conditioning settings, power or normal settings on the transmission, trip computer settings, headlamp time delays, and the vehicle customization settings, you would have been right. If you're holding the personal identity key for the Caprice, then to that list you can add driver's seat settings and external mirror positioning. Inside, there's even more differentiation between the previous model and the new WK. For example, the interior lighting will stay on for a programmable period or until the ignition is turned on. Similarly, when the ignition is turned off, the interior lighting will stay on for a programmable period. This upper pad design is exclusive to WK, and so is the entire centre console and centre fascia. The whole instrument cluster treatment is new. Highlights include a compact instrument binnacle, high-mounted multi-function digital display with large screen readout showcasing driver information like the trip computer, infotainment and air conditioning information. Up here we have sunglass storage, while down here we have a concealed mobile telephone storage compartment. For convenience, a 12-volt power socket is located here in the centre console, operating via the ignition key. And there's a second one mounted in the right-hand side of the boot, operational without the ignition switched on. These controls for the dual temperature zone, climate control air conditioning are more tactile with larger switches that allow the driver and passenger to customise the settings for their individual comfort. And if your customer prefers fresh air, then for the first time, Holden are offering the option of a factory-fitted sunroof. This offers many benefits over an aftermarket unit. For a start, the headlining is moulded for a better appearance. There's a reduction in the levels of wind noise due to the unique design of the glass's rubber seal. There's also improved anti-corrosion protection, with the roof and reinforcement panels being fully coated in the paint process. However, even more important is body strength in a crash situation. As the vehicle is specifically designed to have an optional sunroof, the vehicle's structural strength is not compromised. This sound system is an all-new Blaupunkt with 6-stack in-dash CD, audio controls on the steering wheel for ease of operation, as well as programmable speed-dependent volume. The Statesman has 10 speakers, totaling 260 watts of stereo audio pleasure. The Caprice's audio system is also equipped with an equaliser to enhance the sound of each style of music, such as jazz, rhythm and blues, classical. Its digital signal processor can even simulate the sound character produced in a concert hall or a stadium. The position button locates the stereo focus for different passenger loads, from a full cabin to a driver sitting alone. and all that sound coming at them via 12 speakers totaling 430 watts. Both models now feature a digital clock replacing the previous model's analog unit. The leather-wrapped steering wheel has both height and reach adjustments to maximise driver safety and comfort. An electrochromatic interior rearview mirror featured on Caprice automatically dims to reduce the glare from the headlamps of following vehicles. The headlamps on both models can be set to turn on and off with the ignition. They can also be programmed with 3 sensitivity settings to turn on at twilight. And they have a variable timer for approach lighting when unlocking the vehicle and departure lighting when locking the vehicle. Rear Park Assist is standard equipment on Statesman and Caprice. When reverse is selected, a speaker under the rear parcel shelf trim emits audible beeps, where the frequency of the beeps increases as the vehicle gets closer to an object, with a continuous tone when the object is 30 centimetres away. The system is calibrated to detect typical obstacles, such as poles, cyclone fencing, other vehicles, walls, and of course, humans, both large but especially small. WK also receives the same feature customization mode as introduced in VY, including the option of having the door locks activated whenever the vehicle's ignition is on and the gear selector is moved from the park position. The doors then unlock when park is re-engaged. The trip computer provides readout for average speed, average economy, elapsed trip time for trips A and B, trip distance for trips A and B, fuel used on trip for trips A and B, time to go, distance to go, remaining fuel, audible and visual warnings for overspeed, audible warnings for underspeed, distance to empty, instant fuel economy, and a stopwatch. The dashboard readout warnings include brake and taillight bulb failure, brake or taillight fuse failure, low engine coolant, low fuel level, very low fuel level, and high engine temperature. It will even give a visual and audible indication to the driver after continuous driving for more than 2 hours to remind them to take a rest. These features provide safety and reassurance for the customer. There's even an optional satellite navigation system available. Now, I must stress the importance of you understanding how the customization and multifunction display systems work. These systems are the core to our car. They are one of our major points of differentiation. They are the same systems as found in VY, but if you're not familiar with them, then I suggest that you sit down with the owner's handbook and read how to scroll through and adjust the systems. It isn't hard, but it is important. What about these seats? Both the driver's and the front passenger seats offer 8-way electric adjustments. That's fore and aft, seat height, cushion tilt, and recline. With Caprice, these settings can be stored in the memory and activated by the personal identity key. The design of the front seat's tubular back frame is stronger and provides enhanced safety under side impacts. And the seat back is higher, which provides increased occupant support. It also brings the head restraint more in line with the occupant's head's centre of gravity, reducing the risk of whiplash injury. And the risk of neck injuries is further reduced with the addition of active head restraints. The occupant's body being forced into the seat back by a low velocity rear end collision activates this feature. The head restraint moves in an arc. In effect, the active head restraint minimises the distance between the occupant's head and the restraint, thereby reducing the risk of neck injury. Seat contours have been revised and firmer seat foam is now used. Combine this with new lumbar support system and the result is a seat that offers more support and therefore more comfort for long trips. But what better way to improve the comfort of the front seat occupants on long trips than to keep the rear seat occupants entertained? Caprice is equipped with a fully integrated rear seat dual entertainment DVD system, a first for any vehicle manufactured in Australia. The DVD head unit is mounted under the centre of the rear seat, where it's accessible to the rear seat occupants. DVD discs can be changed without having to stop the vehicle, as would be the case with a boot-mounted system. 2 LCD or liquid crystal display viewing screens are mounted in the rear of the front seat head restraints. They can rotate up to 20 degrees to reduce reflection. And because the screens are mounted high in the vehicle, rear seat passengers will have peripheral view through the side windows, thus avoiding the risk of travel sickness. Of course, if the rear seat passengers would rather listen to the stereo, they have remote control over the sound system via an overhead console. And both the DVD and the sound system can be enjoyed in private by the rear seat passengers via headphones that are stowed in the rear centre armrest. To maximise security, the DVD system has been integrated into the vehicle's electrical architecture. If the data link is disconnected, the DVD system will cease to operate. Furthermore, the DVD system has been specifically designed for WK and will not operate in any other model of vehicle. This overhead panel gives Caprice rear passengers remote control over the dual temperature zone climate control air conditioning. And the rear cup holders for Caprice are now located under here. Occupant protection has always been a high focus area for Holden. The WK Statesman and Caprice benefit from many safety features and innovation, and it's important that you are familiar with them. The 4-channel anti-lock brake system provides the driver with more control when faced with situations that require heavy braking. By minimising the wheels from locking, the driver has the ability to steer the vehicle, thus possibly preventing an accident. Traction control ensures positive drive is applied to the wheel with traction or grip, and is especially important when driving on wet or slippery roads. The redesigned and strengthened B-pillars offer improved crashworthiness by reducing the load on the occupant's area during side impact. Their design provides more head, neck and chest protection to the occupants. The driver's 65-litre airbag and the front passenger's 120-litre airbag are tethered, offering accident protection to the front seat occupants in either severe head-on or offset collisions. Both front seats are equipped with side impact airbags, which are activated by sensors mounted at the base of the B-pillars. I know I mentioned it earlier, but it's worthwhile saying it again. The front seats on the WK Statesman and Caprice now feature active head restraints. And don't forget to tell your customers about the emergency mode that is activated when the seatbelt pretensioners are triggered. The onboard computer turns off the engine and fuel pump, unlocks the doors, turns on the interior light and the hazard lights. Remember, a lot of people don't feel comfortable about driving with their doors locked in case they can't get out in the event of an accident. Holden's emergency mode ensures your customer can benefit from personal security when driving and also have increased protection in the event of a serious accident. So there you have it. I've shown you how Statesman and Caprice have reached new heights of luxury and prestige motoring. This video has shown you that they offer an exact balance of power and presence, of prestige and heritage, of performance and control, of luxury and refinement. In addition, I've shown you how Caprice now creates a sportier flagship for the top of the Holden range, with on-road dynamics that add a level of driver excitement not often found in a car of this size. Recognise that there is now increased competition in this vital market segment. Ford have lifted their game with Fairlane and LTD, and the Europeans are offering larger size sedans. With Statesman and Caprice, you have vehicles that are equipped to take on the competition. Use the information I've shared with you on this video to highlight to your customers the features of these fabulous vehicles. Use the information to explain the advantages and the benefits that are on offer to them. Use the information to make the invisible visible for your customers. Thanks for watching and good selling. Cheers.